Shh, shh. Good morning, Nathan. Or good afternoon, I guess now. Hawaii was awesome. Yeah, it was man, what a long trip to get there. When I flew out, I went RSW, which is Fort Myers, to Minneapolis, Minneapolis to LA, LA to Kona. And on the way back, I changed my flight. I went Honolulu to Atlanta straight through, 8 hours, 9 minutes. So that was a tough one. But then an hour and 30 minutes home from Atlanta. Everything was on time. It was perfect. But man, you're jet lagged after that. Just so far. When I think of all the places I can go within 2 hours of Fort Lauderdale or Miami, and then to have great beaches and everything else, I just don't know if it's worth it going all the way to Hawaii. But I like Kona a lot better than Oahu. Kona was laid back and chill and, just, um, yeah, yeah, it's too much airtime. So we had, you know, it was Riley and me, my granddaughter, and so we had fun. We had a great, but the thing that was cool is you go on vacation, you think, oh, I'm going to gain at least like 5 pounds or something. And I didn't. So I was happy with that. Um, so hopefully this will go smoother than last week on uh, than at the gate and everything else. So we're going to give everybody one more minute and then we're going to get started. And this is going to be recorded. Heather's not going to be on today. She's getting ready to go out of the country on a cool cruise with her family. So she's excited. But I love what we're going to talk about today. So we're just going to give it just a couple of minutes. And then, or actually, we're going to give it one more minute and then we're going to get started. So thank you for being here. And then I get to go to the dentist. Getting the crown replaced. That's always fun. But I have the best dentist. He's from Iowa. So that's kind of how I found it. But if my appointment's at 1 o'clock, I will be in the chair at 1 o'clock and he'll be done when he says he's going to be done. It's pretty amazing. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. And today, the talk is the 5 shifts every business owner must make to build freedom, wealth, and legacy. So I say this a lot, but everything that I really needed to know, I learned or was exposed to when I was 13, working in a casket factory, swinging a hammer, and thinking, is this my life? Is this what it's going to be like when I get out of school someday? Am I going to be swinging a hammer and sweating and, waiting for the roach coach to come at break time and just, like the food trucks were not like food trucks are now. Okay. Food trucks now have great food, a lot of them. But back then it was pre-wrapped sandwiches that were gross but you ate what was available to you, right? And I'm sure it wasn't economically the smartest thing to do. But If somebody would have told me that I needed to get money working for me instead of me working for money back then, it may have not made sense. I mean, it didn't really make that much sense to watch Dwayne McIntyre be the owner of the business and invest in real estate in my neighborhood. But fast forward, I went down that traditional route and I built a nice firm of $700 million under management in a wealth management firm. And I discovered the lie behind Wall Street. But while doing that, having that 700 million under management wasn't like being a business owner. I mean, I took care of like problems all day long. That I could put nothing in my calendar and all I had was fires to put out. This person had a question. This didn't get processed right. This person wanted to go to lunch. This person wanted to go. And I'm telling you that if you have a breakfast appointment, a lunch appointment, a dinner appointment, and maybe a happy hour for a couple of beers, you are not going to stay in shape if that's your job is to entertain people all day long. It's just not, right? So going from that to being truly a business owner, not self-employed, and buying into 30 plus companies and creating financial and time freedom by becoming the bank, right? It took, I stopped being an operator of the business and became an owner. And then I became the bank, and that changed everything. Controlling the banking function changed everything for me because most business owners don't own a business. They own a job with overhead, right? They're still self-employed. And it's great because my trainer, I'm really trying to help her with understanding this. And, she says what every business owner says. Well, nobody can train you like I do. And I don't trust having somebody else train you. And I don't, and it doesn't matter. Hey, no one else can swing that hammer like I can. It doesn't matter what it is, but it's thinking that you are the talent in the business. Maybe you are. Maybe you're the innovator. Maybe you're the visionary. But if you can't run your business, if your business can't run, this is the biggest problem business owners face. If your business can't run without you for 60 days, then you're not free. You're just expensive labor, right? And I know that's a little harsh, but I understand how it feels. And common traps to that are overworking and underbuilding. Develop people, build people, want people to do more and more and more in the organization. Chasing revenue, not bleeding profit. That makes sense, right? We want to increase revenue, but we need profit. And then financing dreams with debt from banks that don't care about you. That's a mistake that most business owners make. And then you're taking the money that you are saving and you're gambling on Wall Street and calling it investing. And we wonder, well, why are we not getting ahead? But there are 5 shifts that I had to make for every real business owner must make to escape that trap. And you guys are going to be the first ones to see. This is the physical copy of Owner Shift, right? Stop playing, start owning, build a wealth engine for life. And we're changing this vernacular to wealth engine. And by the way, I I'd be happy to send you a physical copy of the book if you send me your best mailing address, people that are on here, because I know I sent some digital copies to some people, but I want you to read this because hey, there could be revision too. And before we start really mass producing it, I want to get some feedback from people that understand this concept, etc. But this is part of explaining the book, why I wrote the book, what's in the book, right? And it's these 5 shifts. That's what we're going to cover today. And we are going to have a hardcover. Yep, Nathan, we are right in the middle of Amazon is so weird if you know how this works because you have to do it a certain way. That way hardcovers come in like 3 or 4 days. Paperbacks come like in 2 days, but if you don't do it right, it takes like a month to get a hardback. So Heather is working hard to get all that set up and make sure that we have the right process. But I kind of want to do, Nathan, before we do that, is get some feedback initially and any revisions before we start to really dive into the hardbacks and everything else. So, all right. So shift one, the first shift we have to make is from earner to owner. Kind of like I kind of gave that away a little bit in the beginning. But the lie, here's the lie. So I'm gonna go, here's the lie that we're taught to believe, the shift that we need to make. Here's really the truth, and then give you an example. Okay. And we're just gonna buzz through this for the 5 shifts. So the first shift, earner to owner. If I just work harder, I'll get ahead. That's a lie. It's a lie. You'll make progress, but you're not going to get ahead. And the shift is own systems, not tasks, own assets, not hours. Okay, that's very simple and very direct, but systems, right? Have systems in place, not just write down to-dos, right? Just not like, okay, here's what I got to do every day. And the assets that you own prevent you from having to spend all of your hours making that profit and revenue happen. So the truth is equity works 24/7. You don't have to. And I'm going to give you a perfect example of that. Yesterday, I was watching the US Open with a good friend of mine, Tom Bosway, who owns the Golf Guys in Bonita Springs, Florida. And it's a golf shop that is incredible. They do a great job. And they never did anything online. And just recently, I'm going to say the last 6 months or so, maybe a year, they started to build their online business. While we're sitting there watching the US Open at a little sports bar, he got 5 sales. Now think about that. That's a business owner. We're having a beer, having some wings, watching the US Open, and he's making money. That is the epitome of making that shift. Before, somebody's got to come in the store, they got to talk to him, he's got to fit them for their clubs, and then he gets paid. Now it's all online. He's not touching it. Okay, so owner or earner to owner. Okay, that's the first shift. The second shift is revenue chaser to cash flow controller. Okay, the lie. Revenue is success. My company is doing $25 million a quarter in revenue. I'm killing it. It's not true. The shift, you obsess over cash flow, not top line hype. That's hype. My company did $100 million last year. It doesn't matter. The revenue is for vanity and profit is for sanity. Cash flow is king, right? I mean, again, I'm going to say it again, revenue is for vanity. I have 100 company, like I hear people say that all the time. Profit is sanity. Cash flow is king. I don't care if I don't have a dollar in the bank. If I've got millions of dollars coming in every year from cash flow, who cares? So the power move in this is infinite banking, being the bank by businesses on your terms. I mean, I'm right now negotiating another trash company with Nick. I've got other companies that I'm negotiating, looking at buying, and I don't care if I buy one or none of them or all of them, because it's going to be on my terms. So that's the second shift is revenue chaser or vanity to sanity, cash flow controller, right? All right, the third shift is from Wall Street puppet to private wealth architect. Here's the lie. Just max out your retirement plan and pray. I mean, I don't say that at the end, but just max out your retirement plan and, get an average rate of return and you'll be fine. That's a lie. So the shift is build your own wealth system, your own system outside of Wall Street. Run your money like a business. Run your life like a business. Have a ledger. So the truth isn't, the truth is don't outsource your future, design it. And outsourcing it means you're putting a dollar amount on how much I'm going to give the government or I'm going to give a Wall Street advisor to create my wealth, create my future. I mean, that doesn't even sound like it makes sense. So the framework to do that, it's simple but not easy, is IBC, become your own banker, infinite banking concept, controlling the banking function in your life, asset stacking, businesses, IP, real estate. Just had a guy on talking about the strategic metals that are part of EVs, smartphones, AI. I mean, would you want to invest in something that AI needs to operate? I do. Okay, so stack those businesses, and that equals IBC and stacking those businesses, cash flowing assets equal real tax efficient wealth. Okay. Because again, if you're making all this money, but you got to give it all to Uncle Sam, who cares? Not who cares, but I mean, it's harder if you got to give our money to Uncle Sam. Shift 4, from control freak to systems driven leader. And I said this earlier, we touched on this, but the lie is no one can do it like me. That's a lie. I have my unique abilities. Everything else that is not my God-given gift, I shouldn't spend time in. I should have people that do that, where that's their God-given gift. Now, is that hard to find? Sure. Success is hard. Life is hard, right? It's okay. It just means it's like a puzzle. You know, puzzles with 1,000 pieces are hard, but you figure it out as you go. So the shift is build systems that outwork, outscale, and outlast you, right? Your time on this earth is 100 years, whatever it is, right? Then you're going to graduate from this world. The truth is, if you don't build systems, you'll always be the system. You either build systems or you are the system. Now, again, I know it's kind of scary, especially when you're a younger business owner thinking, well, I shouldn't be involved more, because you're kind of still building your confidence and maybe your ego to some degree, right? Like, you know, proving to yourself you can do it. But as you get more confident and as you get more successful, it's like, let other people do those things. That's part of being wealthy, by the way, is giving other people opportunities in your organization to make money, to own part of the business, to grow the business bigger, for them to share in that. Give them the opportunity to do that. Don't have to do everything. It took me a long time to learn that. And I had to hear Dan Sullivan say that more times than I hope you guys have to hear me say it. Okay. Stepping away and watching profits increase because you stop being the bottleneck is super rewarding. And it's just like it's almost like you like the creator of something, and then you watch that creation come to life and grow and become bigger than you thought it would be with you at the helm. You know what I mean? And you're still at the helm, but you're not the driving force. Okay. All right. The fifth shift, and this is a shift that is just it's simple, but I'm telling you, it has to be, you have to change your mindset on this. Stop thinking like a consumer and a customer. Start thinking like an owner, a creator. Owners create value. Okay. All you have to do, I mean, Amazon, it creates value. There's a value to go, oh, I don't have dog food. Okay. I can have it here between 4 and 8 tonight. I mean, that's value. That's why they get paid. That's why they make all this money. They're creating value. Okay. The lie is success is about toys, titles, and trophies. That's not what success is about, right? It's not about toys. I mean, should you have toys? Sure. If you can afford it, then have toys. They won't make you happy. I can tell you, I've done it the wrong way too. You know, I've done it the right way. I've done it the wrong way. You know, titles. I remember when I was in my 20s, I wanted to be the general agent. Now I don't want to be. I mean, like I do want to be the general agent, but I'm not the general agent. As Kyle, who's on here, would tell you, I'm happiest when I'm talking to clients. Okay, so like I want to produce. I want to go out there and find clients and help them grow and educate them and do all of that. That like signing the checks and doing all that kind of stuff, that's that's a title. I don't care about that. And trophies, Kyle and I just got back from Hawaii, and that was like a reward thing for one of the insurance companies that we use. I mean, I didn't even want to get up there on stage. I didn't bring my green jacket thing that they gave us. Like I didn't want to do that. I did because I don't want to be a jerk either, but like that trophy stuff doesn't mean anything to me. And the shift is build for impact, not ego. Okay. And it's hard when you're younger to do that because you're trying to build your confidence and your ego comes along for the ride. But like when you don't care about that, you only care about making other people successful and having impact on their lives and their children's lives and their grandchildren's lives and their friends' lives and anybody they talk to, that's the truth, right? The truth comes down to income dies with you. Legacy multiplies with you. I mean, we're all going to, like I say, graduate from this world. You don't care what your income is when that happens, okay? But do you care what your legacy is, right? Do you care that you impacted somebody's life in a positive way, right? So your mission, use your business, cash flow, and control to change your family tree and someone else's family tree, and then someone else, and then someone else. That's having impact. So this isn't just a book. This is a battle plan. This is how do I do this? And if you own a business, hate depending on banks or Wall Street, want to buy back your time, want to build something that lives beyond you, legacy, then this is the blueprint. This is first, you get the book. There's action plans. After every chapter, there's bonus material. And it'll say right here, like, and we obviously should have QR codes, but maybe we don't need QR codes. But you go to createtailwind.com/vision to create a vision builder tool. These tools are there right now. So that's the key, man. It's like you can work the rest of your life for money, or you can make money work for you. You choose. Both are hard. Being fat's hard. Being in shape, Angela's hard, right? Being healthy and eating good food, it's hard. But also eating McDonald's and Taco Bell is hard. I mean, I think it's hard. It's going to hurt your stomach, I think. Most people never will make these shifts. That's the part that drives me crazy. That's what keeps me up at night. You want to know what keeps me up at night? But you on this call, you are not most people. You're here. That means you're ready to make those shifts, right? Most people won't. And shift from survival to ownership. And from pressure to purpose, from grind to greatness. And this is something that's going to help you change your mindset and shift the way you're thinking about the rest of your life. And so I want everyone on here to experience that. And I recorded last week with Glenn, who's on here a lot. And no, I can't remember, 3 years, 5 years, but not more than 5 years. Glenn has 500 mobile home pads and 150 multifamily apartments. And he's closing on a deal today. It's probably why he's not on here. He's closing on a deal today, a really nice deal. Okay. And he took his government plan and he converted it to this. And I don't want to give away the podcast because it's coming out soon. But people go, well, if I cash in my 401k, I got to pay penalties and tax. Have you ever heard of cost segregation? Like if I bought real estate and then I depreciated, I accelerated the depreciation. So there was no tax the first year, that I didn't pay tax that first year of buying that property. Then how much do I have to pay to get out of that 401k? 10%. Anybody here not going to pay 10% to get out of that 401k today? Right? Okay, so I'm going to leave you with that. I really appreciate you all. I appreciate your patience last week. That was just different. So I got my time zones mixed up. I thought I had time before we went to do that to do the live, but we are going to do leading up to the book launch, which is July 8th. Okay, is we're going to try to in these next few weeks make all the changes we need to make if there's any. Um, Kyle is a very detail oriented person and he knows infinite banking as well as anyone does. And he's looked through it. He did have some feedback, and thank you, Kyle, for that. And I think the book is really close. And so we're gonna the next few weeks of these live events, we're going to talk about the book, and I'm going to read a little bit more about the book. Next week, I'm going to, again, tell the story of where that shift happened for me. And sometimes I balance that out. Like, I don't want to just talk about me. I want to talk about Glenn, what he's done. I don't want to talk about what I've done with my banking system. I know people don't get tired of hearing it, but I don't want it to just be one thing. I want it to be lots of success stories. And there are lots of success stories. And you can have anything you want in your life. Do not think scarcity. Think abundance today, and think of one thing this week that you can change that you've been thinking. I mean, think of it from a scarcity standpoint. I'll give you an idea of what, and I can't remember if I said this at the very beginning because I planned to, and then I can't remember if I said it already. But when I went on this vacation so I had a golf tournament first in Louisville at Valhalla, and it's 4 days. It's breakfast, lunch, dinner, couple beers on the golf course, not exercising because I don't have a gym there, right? Then it was come home the very next day, leave for Hawaii. And it's at a resort and they're feeding us. Oh, hey, there's another meal. There's another meal. There's another meal. Oh, and there's free drinks. So how many days of that? 12 days or something like that of that. And I came back, and the first day I didn't want to get on the scale. I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I was thinking in a scarcity mindset. Well, it's 5 pounds okay? If I gain 5 pounds, that's not too bad. 10, I can live with 10. I can get rid of 10 pounds fast. That was my mindset. Total scarcity. I got on the scale, 211. Didn't gain a pound. Here, like, I was all stressed about it, but I worked out every day when I was there. I made decent choices sometimes not, and didn't gain a pound. I don't know if it's the peptides that I'm taking or the supplements, but I should have been thinking abundantly. Whatever I am, right? I just came off a vacation. And so now it made me reevaluate my vision to not think scarcity, but think abundance. Hey, here's what I'm going to do to take it to the next level now. I'm going to change these 2 or 3 things. So what are those 2 or 3 things that you're going to get a more abundant reaction? Yeah, Angela said tapped into a different metabolic pathway. I love that. I agree. And so I was just excited about that. I've gone to Europe for 2 weeks and come back and lost 2 pounds because their food's so much better. But anyway, I thank you all for being here. I got the addresses. I'm going to text those to myself somehow from this chat. And I will get these books out tomorrow. Angela, it makes sense that it's good that it just seems funny. Like, here's what I would eat. And, Angela's an expert on nutrition, if you guys don't know that. And I would go and I'd get pineapple because the pineapple's amazing. I'd get the fruit, their grapefruit was amazing, but I'd get pineapple and fruit, and I'd get like 3 hard-boiled eggs, and I got bacon like every day because I love bacon. I mean, if you put bacon in front of me, I'm going to eat it. I'm not going to cook it, but if you put it in front of me, I'm going to eat it, especially if it's crispy. That was my breakfast every morning. It's so different than what I eat normally, like you said. But then, you're walking around everything else. So I'm just thankful that I wish I would have just the whole time had an abundant mindset, but I had a scarcity mindset. Like, you're looking a little, those abs where are they? They're disappearing. And I shouldn't have. I should have just been happy and abundant. So let's win Monday and let's win the week. And thank you all. And I'll see you next week. Can't wait to bring you more about the book. And we will, hopefully everybody will have their book by the time we meet next Monday. So talk to you soon. God bless and Godspeed.